Welcome to Tech Transformation with CGT and RIS News, where we explore the innovative tech strategies and trends in retail and consumer goods. I'm Lisa Johnston, Senior Editor at CGT. In this episode, I'm really excited to be speaking with Charisse Hughes, SVP and Chief Brand and Advanced Analytics Officer for Kellogg's, and Lesley Salmon, SVP and Chief Information Officer for Kellogg's. We're going to be talking about some of the recent consumer behavior changes, how Kellogg's is responding, where they're using artificial intelligence and machine learning, the future of CPG commerce, and really just a lot more. So I want to just dive right in and get the conversation going. So Charisse, Lesley, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Get us started. Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. Lovely to be here with you today. So I've been in the IT industry for over 30 years, and I consider myself a business leader first, and I happen to specialize in technology. I've been with Kellogg for 8 years now, 3 years in my global role. And I love the partnership that I am able to have with all of my business colleagues, especially our commercial team.
Hi, Lisa. Nice to be with you and with Lesley, of course. I have been with Kellogg's for almost 2 years. I am the Chief Brand and Advanced Analytics Officer. And prior to joining Kellogg, I have a 25-year career as a marketing professional across multiple verticals, from beauty to fashion and retail. And so I've landed at Kellogg with the attention to focus on and be, a part of a company that is much more purpose-driven. And that is what landed me here. And now I have the great charge of working with Lesley and excited to bring to life our advanced analytics and continue to drive that transformation for our company.
Okay, so let's start out. I want to talk about consumer behavior changes. So there have been the obvious, much talked about digital acceleration. But beyond that, what significant shifts are you seeing? We just reported findings that said most consumers are looking to cut back on spending, whether that's through buying fewer items or looking for more promotions. So what are some of the big changes that Kellogg's is noticing, and how are they responding?
We've seen quite a few changes in consumer behavior, and whether it be consumer preferences that are changing, eating behaviors. Of course, we know there's the importance of ESG and purpose that has made its way into consumers' hearts and minds and purchasing decisions. And also, following COVID, we know that consumers are actually paying more attention to their overall health, while at the same time seeking indulgence in the foods that they're eating. And so all of these different factors are really important and key considerations as we think about our approach to wellness and well-being. And we actually take a holistic approach. So we're thinking about the nutrients that our individual foods provide, but also how they make our consumers feel and how they impact our society and the planet. And so what we've been doing and what we are really fortunate to have is this vast portfolio that allows consumers choice. So whether it be Cheez-It and Pringles, which are foods that cater to snacking and snacking occasions, or our Morningstar Farms foods with Incognito and RX Bar, we have a vast portfolio that leans into the different options that consumers are seeking. And this ensures that we are allowing consumers and shoppers to engage in the ways that they want to with our company, with our brands, and with our foods.
What are some of the future behavior shifts that you're preparing for? How is Kellogg's readying for tomorrow's consumer, not just today's?
We are really leaning into our purpose, which is all about a seat at the table for everyone. And so what that means is that we want to authentically represent our consumers and the communities that we serve in our creative, in our messaging, and in our food. Last year, we launched the K Way of inclusive marketing, which was really our attempt to better understand and gain a deeper connection to our diverse audiences. The insights are really about going beyond how consumers are shopping physically, but also how their digital habits have shifted and changed. What are they doing from a consumer passion standpoint, their communities, and how their lives have evolved. And we've been able to partner with a few different companies and brands to help connect more directly with our brands. And so, for instance, we partnered with Pinky Cole. I don't know if you know this influencer, but she owns a company, a restaurant called The Slutty Vegan in Atlanta. And we did this because we learned that the African American consumer was much more focused on health. That population was heavily impacted by COVID. And so we wanted to bring more healthy foods to the African American community. And we did it with Pinky Cole and partnered with our Incognito brand to demonstrate how to, new menu options and how to prepare healthy foods and healthy plant-based foods with our Incognito foods.
Okay, if I just build on what Charisse said a little bit. So, it's a great partnership that we have to partner technology along with commercial and some of our other functions as well. Anybody that's ever worked in a large organization or even a small organization for that matter knows that information silos are really challenging. They're a fact of doing business, but they're very challenging. So sometimes the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. And employees who are supposed to be working in concert with each other are out of sync. And to really get the insights that Charisse has talked about coming together and being in harmony is so important, getting end-to-end visibility of that data. So to address some of those challenges, Charisse and I have partnered to host quarterly internal data summits. So we bring various functions together to educate our commercial teams on how we're using advanced data and analytics, and to really further connect the dots and turn the insights that we find into actions that drive growth for the business. So, an example is that by combining our insights and analytics capabilities with innovation and e-commerce and other elements, we can provide really rich omni-channel experience to ensure that we've got the right foods, the correct pricing, and they're tailored to the right messages to our diverse set of consumers. And breaking down those silos is really critical for preparing for our consumer experience between now and in the future, because the future really is now. We're moving at such a pace.
So that's a lot of great information. I know we're going to talk a little bit, I think, more about that when we talk more about recruiting and retaining today's top tech talent, some of the things that you're doing internally. But sticking on the theme of the future consumer, can I ask you to dust off your crystal ball? What does the consumer experience look like in 10 to 15 years in 2035?
Yeah, Lisa. So, we recently commissioned some research that looks at what the consumer shopping trends are that we can anticipate 2035 and beyond. And we're making investments now to prepare for those consumer expectations. So one of the insights is that in 2035 and beyond, the retail environment will fit the needs of every individual shopper, so really putting the person into personalization. So shoppers will see the personalization of products and their own shopping journey as a baseline expectation to fit their unique attitudes and needs. And traditional offline and online channels will become increasingly integrated with one another, supplemented with artificial intelligence and innovative technologies to really offer data-driven capabilities. And technology is the backbone of that, and it ensures we'll be able to achieve those expectations. But even more importantly, I go right back to the partnership. So commercial business leaders can and should be partnering with their IT teams to help prepare for those future trends and to create the more personalized experiences that create brand affinity, which really is what we're looking for as a branded company.